Hi, Jason Knott, editor of CE Pro, and welcome to CE Pro Video Weekly News. Again, a lot of interesting developments in the industry this week. Let's get right to it. It's always a great time of the season when we get to see what the public companies release when they do their quarterly earnings. And this week, it was our chance to look inside the kimono, so to speak, at Nortec. They released their Q2 revenues, which were down about 2%, and their profits were down 6%. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. In the security group, which includes linear, 2 gig, and their personal emergency response systems, it was surprisingly down about 10%. This is really surprising because these groups have been really providing very steady, strong revenues. That was part of the problem. Linear blamed the downturn, or Nortec blamed the downturn on the fact that the group had such a very strong Q2 last year. So we'll see what the numbers churn out for this year. They hope to bolster it because they actually bought Numera, which is a mobile PERS company that they think is going to really elevate the earnings there. Now let's look at the core brands group. This is broken down into the two divisions, residential and commercial. Overall, both groups were down about $1 million. Most of that was in the commercial side. So what we saw was a lot of restructuring that's taken place over the last year, and even a little bit more this time. What they decided to do was they moved Geffen, one of their commercial brands, into the residential core brands group. This ought to help that residential group even more, which actually was up double digits in revenues in the quarter compared to the year before's Q2. And then lastly, in the last move they made, was they sold TV1. TV1 was sold out of that commercial group actually to an internal management group. In other news, Julie Jacobson, our founding editor, took a really powerful look and analysis at the state of home automation sold in retail. And in particular, she looked at what's happening with Sears. Sears is coming into this market a little more strongly, and as an interesting historical analysis, I think you'll find it very interesting on the website. Last but not least, this week, one of the other big items to look at was we had an interesting blog from one of our readers about how the IT industry is taking over the AV industry. And he makes the point, Joey Kolchinsky of One Vision Resources in Boston, that he doesn't see any of the AV manufacturers really doing anything about it. So it's a very provocative read. I encourage you to take a look at it. You can find out about all these stories by going to cepro.com.